Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the T is for Today podcast. I deserve a hand clap, okay? I said that I was going to be more consistent this go around with the recording of episodes for this here podcast, and look at me. Look at me, okay? I'm here for week 2 for another episode. I hope you all are doing okay. I'm recording this and it's going to be released on a Sunday. So happy Sunday or happy whatever day that you are listening to this episode. I hope your previous week went well, that you're being refreshed and energized, and you are gearing yourself up to start off a new week. And so today's episode, we're just going to be talking about being yourself and why it's important to be your authentic self. And I just want to make a disclaimer. When I say authentic self, people can think of a lot of different ways or things when it comes to being authentic. And I want to say authentic in a positive way, okay? Not that I got an attitude. Everybody know I got an attitude because that just is what it is. I'm not talking about that type of authentic. I'm talking about, at the very essence and core of who you are, that person, being that person, okay? And to frame this episode into what we are going to be talking about, we are going to be taking a self-assessment that was created by yours truly, myself. So it's just some things, that I want us to just already be in the realm of thinking when it comes to our own selves, how we perceive ourselves, and ultimately how maybe others could perceive ourselves as well. So the assessment is 3 questions. Only thing that I want you to be keeping track of is how you rate yourself for each question. So it's going to be a scale it's going to go from 1 being that it's a problem from you, ranging all the way to 5, meaning it's not a problem for you, okay? So I'm going to read each question twice, and we're going to move from there. So question 1, you have a problem voicing your concerns/opinions when your opinion goes against the majority. You have a problem, you have no problem voicing your concerns/opinion when your opinion goes against the majority. Remember, the scale's from 1 to 5. 2, you are often misunderstood by others, and it affects your ability/confidence to communicate. You are often misunderstood by others, and it affects your ability/confidence to communicate. And lastly, question 3, you often feel the need to defend yourself/prove yourself to people. You often feel the need to defend yourself/prove yourself to people, okay? So I want you to be honest. Okay, we're going off the honor system here. No one is looking at your answers. You are the only one that knows how you answer these questions. So why lie to yourself when you by yourself? That's weird, okay? Just be honest. But based off of how you've answered these questions also plays a role into how comfortable you feel with being your authentic self, okay? So it's important to be who you have been created to be on this earth. When I look back and listen to past episodes when I've spoken with different people on this platform, one thing that I really strive to get to the core of is, what was their process to being and working and doing things in the field that they feel that they've been called to. Because, let's face it, in our everyday lives, me included, you may be working at a job that you feel unfulfilled at, that you're looking around like, okay, surely this is not what God has for me. Like, how much longer do I need to be here, Lord? And it may be not maybe, it is a situation that you're growing and gaining skill in. But if you're anything like me, I'm always looking to, okay, what's the next? What's the next? What's the next? Because I don't feel in some environments that I'm allowed or I'm able to express like my full self. And it's important to be in environments and spaces where you feel that you are able to come to work or do work that showcase the best of your abilities. And what I'm starting to realize, maybe in those situations, maybe we need to be working for ourselves. Yeah, I don't know. But with being who you are, I want to just touch on 3 things that it's important to do so that you feel comfortable being your authentic self and not hindered in any type of environment. Is 1, making sure you validate yourself and not looking for validation or confirmation from other people. All of us, we have dreams, we have aspirations and things that we want to do. And it's natural for us to want to share these ideas with other people, our friends, whatever the case may be. But an issue arises when we share these ideas and dreams with friends, family members, whoever, and they may give us a response that is not what we thought it was going to be. They may be the ones speaking like, are you sure you want to do that? Or maybe you should try doing it this way first. Or no one's ever done it like that before. Are you sure it's going to work out? And that's a surefire way to lose confidence in yourself and in your ability, because we're looking for validation from people that didn't even give us the idea or the thought or the plan or the execution in the first place. So I'm sure an electric car looked foolish to somebody once upon a time, and look at us today. Okay, got Tesla, all the major car model creators and companies. Y'all see, I don't know much about, production and cars and whatnot, but you see all the major, just different brands of cars, they have an option for even electric hybrid cars, things of that nature. I'm sure once upon a time, bottled water was sounded or was thought of as a stupid idea. I'm sure somebody said like, oh, that's not going to catch on. We can't do that. And now look, we got Ozarka, we got Essentia, we got all these different brands that bottle their water. So when you are in the early stages of birthing something, an idea, something that is near and dear to your heart, I'm going off the notes here, but just be sure that you are being very discerning when you share information and things with people, because it be the people close to you that be killing your dream killing your dream the most, okay? All right, next point that I put with being yourself also means that sometimes you're gonna have an unpopular opinion. And I think that in this world, it's such a weird place right now, while everyone is expected to think a certain way because you're this skin color, or because you look like this, or because you look like that, like you have to act accordingly, or you have to move like this, do things of that nature. And I think that is another reason why individuality is slowly but surely getting killed. Like, surely we cannot all be thinking the same way. Or maybe we're just scared to say how we really feel and just go with the path of least resistance and just say what everyone else says. I think it's a good idea for if you have maybe an educator friend, everyone take a day and like volunteer at a school. See what needs or need to be met there. Maybe you can help in some capacity, because I think we live in our own daily bubble, but the things that I'm talking about or mentioning right now, I see in a magnified way when working in a school. You know, the way that everyone wants to be a certain way, look a certain way, think a certain way, act a certain way. And if you're not doing what everyone else is doing, you're the one that's seen as weird. Even though you are just regular schmegler, maybe not be anything out of the ordinary, but because you're not doing what the crowd is doing, now you're the weird one. And so it's just really interesting to me how the society, how it is today, how it impacts the youth of today. And I just think it's very funny and strange, because as an adult, I can see something and they're like, oh, they're playing, like that's not really how they are. But a child, a teenager may see that and they're not able to discern that, oh, this is actually not reality. This is like for play. But they take it as reality and are now running with what they saw. So, be okay with having an unpopular opinion, because you'll be surprised. More people may agree with you than you think. And another thing, commit to being yourself every day. It is so easy to go along with the flow, It's natural for us as people to not want to encounter friction. Everybody doesn't want to fight every day, okay? Sometimes I be with the smoke and I welcome all confrontation. But other days, I'm just trying to make it to 4 p.m. until I clock out and it's time to go. Who has time to be arguing all the time, And so it can be easy to live life in a passive state because you just don't want to entertain nonsense or don't have the capacity to, deal with people's drama, which I don't have all the time either. But in some instances, there's going to be a point in time where we have to stand on what we believe. That's a part of you being who you are. I feel like this world needs more people standing up and being who they are, regardless of what other people may say, regardless of what other people's opinions may be of them based off of the stance that they take. But I'd rather you be authentic and be who you are than just be mindless and go along with the flow and then be wishing to yourself, man, I wish I would have said something. So this is just a little beginning of the week motivation as you are preparing to go into your Monday, or maybe you're listening to this episode. Why is this thing going off like this, y'all? My apologies. Or if you're listening to this in the middle of the week, just an encouragement and a reminder to be who you've been called to be, whether you're working for yourself, working for someone else, do a mix of both things combined. It is essential for you to be exactly who you are, okay? You are needed. You are valued. We want your voice matters. Your work matters. You matter. And so I just really want to encourage you and just say, I'm here. I'm rooting for you. And, it's going to be great. It may be hard sometimes, but it's going to be a fruitful reward in the future. Okay, so that is our time for this episode, and I'll see y'all next time.